Alright guys, so this is your homework. I gave it out, I believe, on Monday, September 23rd, and it's going to be due September 24th. So I'm going to go ahead and work through, let's say, 3 of these problems. I'll work through this one, and this one. And I don't know, maybe even number 5, who knows. Let's just get started. I've only got about 10 minutes on this, so I'm going to go ahead and start on number 2, and I'll get to the ones I can get to. How's that sound? Alright, so on this one there's going to be 2 lines that have been graphed so far. So there's 2 sets of shading going on in this, so I need to make 2 equations. So my first equation looks like it's going to be a dotted line. This is a dotted line, and it's shaded below. So that tells me that this is going to be dotted, shaded below. That means y is less than. Okay, dotted means strictly less than. It's not less than or equal to. And then it looks like my y-intercept is going to be at positive 2, and it looks like I'm going up 2, or up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2. So it looks like up 1 over 2 would be that. X plus 2 for my y-intercept. There's my y-intercept. Alright, so that's my first equation. Next one looks like it's a solid line. So that means y is going to be, it looks like I'm shading above that line, so greater than or equal to. Solid line, and it's above, so it's greater than or equal to. And then, let's see, my slope is going to be up 1, 2, 3, left 1. Up 1, 2, 3, left 1. So up 3, left 1 is going to be negative 3 over 1 x. Then it's going to be starting point at negative 5. So those are my 2 equations. So when you look at this negative 3 over 1, you might be asking, well, why is it negative 3 over 1 when it was up 3, left 1? Well, this was actually supposed to be more out in front, but look, even if it was negative 3, that means down 3, right 1. So starting here, it's the same thing. 1, 2, 3 down, right 1. 1, 2, 3 down, right 1. Or I can say up 3, left 1. So 1, 2, 3, left 1. 1, 2, 3, left 1. So whether the negative is on top or the bottom, it doesn't matter as long as it's on top or bottom. When you do negative 3 over negative 1, that's where it's wrong, because negative 3 divided by negative 1 is actually positive 3. So that would mess up the whole thing. So anyway, that's your answer. And then it also says determine 2 coordinates that are not part of the solution set. So the solution set is anywhere in this area right here. So 2 coordinates that are not part of the solution set, I'm going to go ahead and do this one right here, and let's do this one up here. So it looks like I've got a 0, 5 is not part of the solution set, and also negative 3, 0. Both of those are not part of the solution set. Alright, let's look at number 4. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and start by graphing this line. It looks like I'm going up 1 over 1. So y, I shaded below the line. That's going to be less than or equal to, because it's a solid line. So less than or equal to, that part tells me that equal to tells me that it's a solid line. Less than tells me where I'm shading. I shaded below this line. So notice all my y's are smaller below. So I shaded below that line. My slope, like I said, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So I've got 1 over 1x, or just x by itself. And then my y-intercept looks like it's going to be at positive 1. So plus 1. Alright, my next line looks like, let's go ahead and do this one. And again, it's another solid line, so y. And then I shaded above this one, so it's going to be greater than or equal to. My slope looks like it's down 1 over 2. So down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. So if it's down 1 over 2, then it's negative 1 over 2x. And then where's my starting point? Looks like it's at negative 1. Then I have another one way up here. Okay, starting point at 5, so that's going to be y. Again, I shaded below this line, so this side of the line below. Y is less than or equal to a solid line again. My slope is down 3 over 1, down 3 over 1. So negative 3x, or negative 3 over 1x. started at positive 5. So those are my 3 equations for that. And that is finished. 2 points outside the solution set, so let's go ahead and do this one and this one. So it looks like I have 2, 0 is outside of the shaded area, and 3, 0 would be outside the shaded area. Alright, let's go ahead and let's do this one, in case you're confused on it. So look, when these lines don't have slopes like this, or infinite slopes, or undefined slopes, that means the equations are going to look like this. X equals, or they're going to be y equals. So my x equals are right here, so x is going to be at -2, and then I shaded anything to the right. That means all my x's are going to be greater than this -2 line, so -2 greater than or equal to -2. Here's where x is 4, but I shaded to the left of it, so all my x's need to be less than, positive 4. Here's my y's, so y up here, y equals 4. So I shaded anything below that, so y at the greatest is 4, but then y is also bigger than -2. So those are those 4 equations. So again, y is greater than this -2 line. It's above that -2 line, but it's less than that positive 4 line. X is less than this positive 4 line, but x is greater than that -2 line. So that's how that works. Let's go ahead and look at number 3 real quick, and that's probably going to be the last one I do. So I'll go ahead and start by doing this one. So I have y. It's a solid line, so that means it's going to be, and I shaded below. So it's solid and I shaded below. So if I shaded below, that means y's are less than or equal to, and it's solid, less than or equal to. My slope looks like I'm going up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3, so up 1 over 3, x, and then my starting point is at 5. Now that's this line. Got that one done. Let's go ahead and do this one. So again, y, this time I shaded above this line, so it's going to be greater than, and it's a solid line, so it's greater than or equal to. My slope looks like it's a tough slope, so it starts there. That's one clean intersection point, and it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3 to my next clean intersection point. So I actually had to go up 8 over 3 for that, which is huge. Looks like my starting point was at -2. Then y, again I shaded above this one, greater than, and my line is solid, so greater than or equal to. My slope looks like it goes up 2, left 1, so up 2, so 2 over -1. So I can write 2 over -1, or I can just write -2 over 1 x like that. And then my starting point again is at -2. Alright, so I surely did rush through this worksheet. There's this one still left on the bottom. If anybody's confused about it, don't be. So it looks like my y-intercept on this one, it's tough, but my y-intercept on this one, I'll just do this one real quick. That sounds good. So I have y, I shaded below it, so it's going to be less than, and then strictly less than because it's a dotted line. My slope looks like it's going from this point. I go up 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, and that's right about where I started. So I'd say up 3 over 4, x, and it looks like I started at something like 2.75. So that would be the first equation, something like that. Anyway, I did rush through this. If you have any questions, go ahead and bring them to me during my tutoring times. Again, my tutoring times are Tuesday, Thursday, that's after school, so 4:05 to 5 o'clock. And Wednesday, Friday is before school, so that's going to be 7:45 to 8:30. Alright, so hopefully this was a help. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in class.